Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All for the Nintendo DS. I'm SamuraiT-X, and I'm Solid Snake. And the last time we left off, we were tackling Ben and Trilo's testimony with a cross-examination. And when we ended the video, we had two choices, whether Ben's testimony has flaws, or Ben doesn't exercise enough. So we're going to go for the better choice in this matter, so let's go. We are going to pick Ben's testimony has a flaw. Why? Because if we pick Ben doesn't exercise enough, the courtroom would just think of us as a joke and Maya would insult us. So let's go with the better choice. There is a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony. Contradiction? The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the Monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza. Well, what is the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours? I'm saying that there is no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. Table smash. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene. Smack, smack, smack. Interesting, Mr. Wright. Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist? Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene. However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive. The witness is lying. He is blinded by his rivalry with Max. Smack. Well, the defense's argument does hold water. This witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant. What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dogface in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him, no doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar. Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night. Ha! I've told you so many times. You'd think you'd know my story's not changing. You've already changed your story, stick boy, and I'm sure it will change some more. Where there is one lie, there are usually many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him. Yeah. Right, time for a testimony from the ventriloquist dummy. I'll give you that. I was waiting that night for Regina. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in that plaza that night. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake it someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. So that means Money didn't show up after you saw Max? That's right. Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him? How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I'd say about... I suppose 5 minutes, I think. So, the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch. Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. Gladly. I will gladly proceed with this cross-examination. Now let's press all these statements. Hold it! So, you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night. That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I've got 4, you know. 4! F-O-U-R! Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think something would slip by me? 4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed at the one area, I suppose. Yikes! The judge is even more dangerous to our case than Trilo. Well, he is funny. He always slips in an odd comment or two, because sometimes he can be gullible, but in this case, Trilo does have 4 eyes, because Ben is the other 2 eyes. Hold it! So, you saw Max coming out of the big top that night?
Of course, that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time.
I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina. Hold it! About what time would you say these events took place?
You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out for yourself. You already know that practice finished probably at 10 p.m. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes. I'm sure you can do that. Now what time was it?
Indeed. What time was it? What time was it? Let me think about it for a second. Yow! I'm no good at time! It was 10:10 p.m. Ah, yes, that sounds about right.
It sounds about right because that's the time that I saw Max on the scene.
I'm gonna press this statement because something bugs me about it. Like, if you hate someone, why would you greet them if you hate them, you know? If you got animosity towards them, you would blank them completely. You would not even talk to them. You would say absolutely nothing. So I'm going to press this statement first before I even press the contradiction, because this is kind of contradictory. Hold it! I'm going to press every statement first before I go back to this one. So, you testified that you said good evening to Max that night?
You must enjoy asking the incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben? You got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trilo. You say good evening at night.
I'm sorry, Trilo. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you keep your ventriloquist act outside of the courtroom.
Impossible! A performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know better.
There's got to be something wrong with this testimony. Yeah, his greeting, to be honest. Isn't it a bit strange to you?
What do you mean?
Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange.
Why would it strike you as strange?
Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your co-workers? Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a co-worker, I would understand. Ow! That hurt! Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learnt that back in grade school. There's no reason that Trilo would ever say something nice to Max. But how do I go about proving it with the evidence? Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learnt that one. I guess I can give it a shot. The witness will resume his testimony. Now let's press this one, and then the last statement. Hold it! You are 100% absolutely sure of what you just said?
I told you already! Jeez! I am 100% absolutely sure!
There's no way that he could be any more confident than that, right? Hold it! Those 3 ridiculous symbols, huh?
Out of curiosity, exactly how many times do you have to ask that question by now? If you're gonna ask again, I'll answer with a chorus. Everyone together now!
CLOAK, CLOAK, White Roses!
Thank you very much!
Maya, you didn't have to join in, did you? But it's fun shouting out with everyone else. You know what? I probably would have done. I would have done that too, actually. To be honest with you, I would have done that because it's funny. I would have participated. There has to be a hole in his testimony somewhere. Yes, there is. I agree, but we have to have proof to make something stick. All we can do is try, right, Nick? We've got to have something that will prove useful. Alright, time to go to work. Indeed, it is time to go to work. So we're going to go back to that statement, because that day, you know, Ben got hit with a glass by Max, so I'm going to present the broken bottle because of the fact that Max did hit Ben in the head with it, so Trilo shouldn't really be greeting him after that incident, so... Objection! Trilo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder? A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact.
It wasn't that big of a deal, it was just an argument. A disagreement at most.
Hello, birds. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clonked over the head.
Ah!
That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Ouch! Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. The truth is, on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There was absolutely no way that they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on the stand. There is no way a puppet this lewd would just go up and say good evening to his rival. I just wanted to laugh. But the puppet is kind of perverted in a way. Are you saying that this witness is lying? That's exactly what we're saying right now. That he is trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene?
I didn't tell a single lie. Honestly, I just...
Smack. That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Would you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night? I'm gonna say he saw a different person, to be honest with you. Because he did not see Max. We're gonna have to persist that he did not see Max. That's what we're gonna say. We're gonna say that he did not see Max because of the fact that we're trying to get Max off the hook here. It is my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to. What kind of theory is that? The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all. What? If he had truly saw Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there is only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That is why Trilo made the effort to greet whoever it was he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it.
Ah!
What in the world? You? Would the defense kindly explain who it was Trilo saw that evening then? We're gonna have to say he saw the victim, Russell Berry, so, take that! Considering the ill temper of this witness, there's only one person he would greet. It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute. No, Your Honor. It was not Regina. It was Regina... If it was Regina, Trilo would have given her an engagement ring as a present. Oh, yeah. I suppose you got a point there. It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not? I'm glad she's catching on, to be honest with you. You're correct. It was indeed Russell Berry.
Huh?
The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster, Russell Berry. That is why you greeted him, Trilo. Isn't that correct? Yep, we've caught him. Answer the question, Mr. Quist.
Ah! Ah!
Smack, smack, smack. Order! Order! How do you respond to this?
But wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man. But, once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica.
Huh. I think it is high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist, obviously you witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identified who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica? Or was it the ringmaster, one Mr. Russell Berry?
The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that witness saw that night. The witness was clearly stated that he saw the defendant's three symbols.
Three symbols?
Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man. You've got to remember them by now. Here we go again. Everyone, all together now. Ow!
Yes, we know. The silk hat, cloak, and white roses.
The silk hat and cloak, anyone could wear them. They even look good on me.
What was that?
Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's three symbols. However, how do we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone else dressed up as him. Table smash. Possibly even Russell Berry.
What?
Smack. Miss Von Karma. Do you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant?
Well,
If that's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes! I think we finally won a point in this one.
That is very unfortunate.
Huh?
You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix, Wright.
What do you mean by that?
You merely established one thing from the witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but... Who that person was can only be answered by the next witness.
Huh?
Your Honor, the prosecution will provide beyond a shadow of a doubt an answer to that question, and evidence that clearly establishes one thing: that there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for this crime.
Smack. Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Court is now in recess. Smack. And we're going to go into a cliffhanger, so enjoy the jingle. Aha! So, when we come back, folks, we will play more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and we shall see who the next witness is. I'm probably going to take a guess that the witness was probably the next witness will probably be the clown, because I think Mo saw the exact thing of the murder, so I'm going to probably guess it's Mo because he did tell us that. So I'm going to guess it's the clown next. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. And I said it's a guess, by the way, not it. I know it is. It's a guess. Anyway, take care, everybody.